Hey everybody, Doug here. What you're looking at is the basic parts for the trailer that I want to make for the Craftsman. It's going to be made out of these futon frame pieces that are right there, and the box, obviously, that I got at the yard sale. And I want to be able to fit a gas tank. And I also have two MTD tires with a 5/8 bore. And I will also be trying to use these gate hangers that I got. These gate hangers have a 5/8, I don't know what you call that, a post. And originally I wanted to put them in like this, but what I was thinking is instead having one like so, kind of, and then having another one come down like this, and then welding a bolt right in between them, like right here. Kind of like that. And that'll be the tire supports. And like I said, I want to be able to fold the gas tank on there as well as bolt down this plastic toolbox. Now if you look here, you'll notice that I do not have it all the way to the end, and that is because of this bend here. I would put it all the way to the end with the bend, but there's none on the other side. So what I've decided to do is I will cut it right here and right here on the other side, and I will find either another piece of steel or something, or I might just leave that piece there and just weld the piece, you know, a bigger piece all the way across the side, and you know, that'll be that. Like I said, I want to be able to bolt it down, so I'll make little plates for you know, 5/16 inch bolts that are about 1 inch long or so. And I was also thinking of making sides come up about halfway on the box using the other piece of the bed frame. The gas tank obviously won't be able to be held down, which is part of the reason why I want to build sides, but it's about the same width as the box itself, so you know, it can just sit there and it'll make it so that it fits in tight and doesn't wiggle around and hop out or anything. For the tongue, I'm not sure how I'm going to build it yet, but I was thinking of having it come out like this and have a bit of a gooseneck, and then come out, and then there'll be the, you know, the hole for the hitch right there. I have not decided on a right height yet. I have to go to Ace and pick up some tools and parts and stuff to, you know, start cutting and you know, getting a basic frame made up so I can weld it. So I will run to Ace and I will come back and I will get started on this. Okay, so I got everything marked up. You can see that one. Yeah, you can see it. With soapstone, and I measured 9 inches off this side, marked it, and 1 inch off that way. And I did all the way down on that one and on that one. It's been about 2 hours since the last clip, but I finally went to Ace. Let me get my bag out here. And I spent a ton of fucking money because, you know, nothing's cheap. So I got 2 new cutting discs for my grinder. I got a, let me try and grab it here, a 1/2 inch drill bit because my step drill bit's worn out. So I spent the $13 to get, you know, name brand Airline and Turbo Max. And I got bolts. These are for the wheel axles. These are 5/8 inch bolts with a 9/16 inch washer, because the 5/8 washers are so goddamn huge. They might as well be 3/4. And a excuse me, nylon lock nut. And those are going to be for the axle, you know, for these little bushings that ride the front tire. And I showed you how I wanted to get it together. But before I do that, I gotta go through and zip everything off. So I'm gonna get right on that. So as you can see, it's cut. I actually had to cut most of it, or at least half of it, with a grinding disc, because the $2.50 fiberglass reinforced cutting discs that I got grenaded. Yeah, that sucks. So I'm gonna have to use the grinding disc because I want to get as much done as I can tonight, but tomorrow I'll have to go and pick up something thicker. So I need to take that piece right there and pull all those supports off and then weld it to this piece. Okay, so everything's stacked together and the box fits on there perfect. So I need to finish going around tacking all my welds, at least up to this one right here, because I think this section right here, or I think these are going to be cut out, and then I'll angle them in kind of like this to go for a triangle. So once again, I'm going to get right back to it. Okay, so I got the what I was going to use for the axles, and basically they were going to go down like this, and you know, it's in a V shape, and then I was going to weld the bolt on like this, you know, like this, and then the tire was going to slide on. Well, these bolts are about 4 inches too long because it's impossible to find bolts that are just, you know, without 2 inches of thread on them. So I got the wrong size, and without the cutting discs, and I really want to get this done, I also had this other idea to do instead. And that was to pull out the old racer body. And as you can see, these already have tires on it. But it also has the spindles, and the front axle is still free. Pull up on it. See, it still articulates. So what I was thinking of doing is just taking the axle off and welding it onto what would be the rear on this. I already got this all welded on the one side, so it's pretty much done. So I'm going to pull the front axle off that and hold it on here and see what it looks like, and then come back. So there it is, mocked up for the most part, and actually looks pretty good. It's about, you know, the height that I wanted it. It's a little bit wider than, you know, if I were to custom make an axle for it, but you know, it's a standard tractor width for the most part, so it should be pretty stable, especially since chances are it's not going to be that long, but I might just leave it that long. So if I find a spot to set down my camera, like not right there, like over here, I will set the box and the gas tank on. So here's my box. It's going to be right about at the edge, and actually it's gonna have to go a little further just for this mock-up because of this axle retainer. So there is the box and the gas tank, and that's basically what it's going to look like. I'll probably be moved forward an inch or so because I couldn't put it flush with this back support there. I actually want it to be about right here because I'll weld the plate in right here, and then I'll bolt it, but this was in the way. So that looks fairly good to me. Looks like a nice roadworthy trailer. So now I need to lock up these spindles. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I'll probably just take steel and weld it from the arm here for the tie rod and straight up to the axle, because you don't need the back tire spinning, otherwise it's going to, you know, dog all the way down the road. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now the axle is welded on. Now I need to work on putting these spindles on. This one's straight and that one isn't, because of the way lawnmower steering is set up. I don't know if you can see it, but that one's turned off to the left, that one's straight. So the tie rod is going to have to come off, but I will weld that side there first, and then I will straighten out the other side and do that one, and then it's pretty much set. Now, it is missing a bar right here because it's right here, and that is because right after that last take that I did not align the axle right before I went and welded it, and so it was way off towards me, and it was really short on that side, so I had to cut this off and then cut my welds and then re-weld it. So I don't think I'm going to put this on because the axle's right there, and that is actually where the box attaches. Will go on top of, so you won't see it, but I don't think it'll be a problem. So I'm going to work on welding the spindle. So there she is. It's pretty much done. A lot of motorcycles going by, but it's pretty much done. I still have to take this tie rod off, and what ended up happening was I had to weld the end to it, the bolt, because it's so rusted in. So I still need to undo the tie rod, but this side and the other side is welded in, and there it is. Nothing's bolted down yet, and I still have yet to make a plate for that to sit on, which will probably be just a bunch of those pieces right there, welded that way. And I still need to make a tongue for it so that I can pull it. But it's almost 8:30 as it is, and I have a headache from inhaling grease and plastic fumes because I'm too lazy to prep surfaces. So I think I'm done for tonight, but I will come back and resume it. So I will talk to everybody later.